Hello to everyone from around the world. I want to welcome you to another fantastic edition of Soulivity Today. And I mean, fantastic edition of Soulivity Today. We're broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and on our favorite partner out west, KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. As I said before, I hope you're ready for a fantastic show. My name is Brian Westley Johnson, and I am so glad you're here. Also, I'm glad that we're joined today by Sheila Applegate, host of Consciously Awesome Living. And hello to you. And also
Hello.
Halina Goldstein, amazing author and co-founder of the Joy Keepers Network. And hello to you, Halina.
Hello.
How have both of you been doing? We've been missing both of you. I'll go to you, Sheila. You've been on vacation. And
I
there's
have been
some
on vacation. It
yeah.
was wonderful. My children were here. My adult children were here, and we did all the fall things that you do in central New York.
Oh man, they're the leaves have turned, correct? I mean, they're like
Yeah.
basically, yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
We're not quite at peak, I think, but it's not one of the brightest seasons. Or, last year was amazing.
Yeah,
But the
same
kids
here.
haven't seen it in years because they've been on the other coast, so they haven't been here for an autumn, and so they just were savoring every minute of it, and that was, that brings joy into your essence.
Right. And Helena, what have you been up to out in
What?
your neck of the woods in Denmark?
It feels like it's been a bit of an intense time with a lot of happening in the world and difficult things happening in the world, but also beautiful glimpses of joy and peace. People showing up in the most beautiful ways. But speaking of vacation, now it's my turn, Sheila. We have the fall vacation here in Denmark this week,
Oh,
and
nice.
I'm going to have some days off and seeing a friend,
Nice.
and really looking forward to it.
Oh, that's perfect. I love it. Yeah, we just took a vacation a couple of months ago. Well, actually last month. It seems like so long ago now, guys. Maybe it's time for another one. Like, I could just vacation all the time, but that's a whole nother thing. Really quick question as we're beginning our show. And this is to our audience. Have you ever heard of something called the monkey mind? The three of us, we already know what it is because it's about our show today. But just a little background. According to Buddhist principles, this ancient term refers to being unsettled, restless, or confused. But this is just one perspective of its meaning. Here's a bit more on it.
Monkey mind is not bad, not good. The important is the relationship between you and monkey mind. So if you treat monkey mind as your boss or enemy, then the problem. Monkey mind is restless, crazy, you don't want to have crazy boss. Or if you try to fight with the monkey mind, then monkey mind become your enemy. Then you have enemy always there in your mind. But if you make friends with the monkey mind, and actually monkey mind is quite good, monkey mind is useful, then eventually monkey mind transforms into wisdom, love, compassion, awareness. So therefore the relationship with the monkey mind is really important. So one of the important thing is to really make friends with the monkey mind. You have to get to know each other well. That's very important. So now I will tell you a little bit about how monkey mind making the problem. Okay? So one day you went to bathroom and look at the mirror, and suddenly you see something in your face, maybe wrinkles, new wrinkles, or the old wrinkle already there, but you haven't recognized before, or you see something, maybe your right cheekbone is a little bit bigger than left cheekbone, or crooked, your nose, pimple, something. So then the monkey mind says, oh dear, something, some problem in my face, the cheekbone. Then you are a little bit worried. And after finish the, using bathroom, you come back and you might have breakfast. And while you're having breakfast, you're thinking about cheekbone again. Oh, cheekbone, yes. What happens is in the brain, there's neurons, what I call gossipy neurons. They love gossip. And they're talking each other. Oh, cheekbone is ugly, ugly face, ugly face. And then more and more neurons, they join together and become group. And the group is become bigger, bigger. So how to work with monkey mind, right? So the key point is, if you try to fight, it doesn't work. If you listen and believe, I'm ugly, yes, I have cheekbone is terrible, it doesn't work. So what you have to do is, for the meditation practice is, we need to free monkey mind with a very skillful way. So what is the skillful? Make friends with the monkey mind. And how to make friends with the monkey mind? Giving banana doesn't work. So you need to give job to monkey mind. If you can give job to monkey mind, then you become boss. Monkey mind become your employee. And the job is all these different meditation techniques. And slowly, slowly, your mind become more calm, peaceful. Not only calm and peaceful, pliable, walkable. So now, monkey mind become more better, nice, wiser, kind. So then monkey mind become benefit for you. So the matter is the relationship between you and monkey mind. That is the matter. But the monkey mind is not bad, not good.
I love that. So we're going to be talking about everything about the monkey mind and how we can use our favorite spiritual medicine, joy, to calm it. So I guess the first thing that we need to talk about, ladies, is this experience of the monkey mind itself, right? Where I love the analogy that he used in terms of looking at yourself in the mirror, right? Because then everybody does that, or everybody has done that at some point, where they'll see something and then the monkey mind takes over, and it's like, oh my God, I've got to do something about this, and what's going to happen, and how people are going to perceive me, and and the whole like kind of thing happens. What say you about this? What in terms of this experience of the monkey mind? And Halina, I'll go to you first.
Oh, well, where to start? I have one.
right. Like, oh my goodness, where to start?
And it is it changes. There are periods where it's very active, and it's not a coincidence when it is so. And there are periods where it is more still. And as I was watching this video, and I love this light-heartedness and the humor there, but when I was watching it, as I was watching it, I was thinking the biggest challenge is to notice that you have it while it's playing, because
Right.
it's easy to say from a distance, yeah, I have a monkey mind, yeah, but to notice that, oh, right now there's a thinking going on that has nothing to do with the present moment, or that is a judgment that's repeating itself. To notice it, that's the challenge, and that's the art of it. But that could also be a job, right? To notice it.
Mm.
I like that. Yeah, just to be just to be aware that it's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that that goes, Sheila, like I remember my my folks would talk about with their clients, like most of us, when we aren't doing, we're just kind of sleepwalking, right? We're just kind of reacting to everything, and the monkey mind is in pure control, right? But
Right.
and we're not even aware that it's in control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like what you said, Halina, because I do think that the observing is a major step, and that's when we can really stop it and change it. And I like what you said, Brian. I think you mentioned the idea that the monkey mind is sometimes called the ego. And in my line of work, that is the going term, both
Yeah,
from my
right.
therapy work
Earth guide
originally,
only.
but I see the ego as it's been talked about recently in the mainstream as our primitive survival instinct. And I think that
Right.
that's what the monkey mind is a lot of times. And so for me, when I notice the monkey mind, it is about something to do with survival, right? So even if it's you're looking at your face, if it's like, well, if I don't fit in, then I won't get what I need, to be okay or whatever. So over the years, it could come over my health because I've had some health issues, and it could come over finances because I took a path that the rest of the world didn't take, one of those like go off the safe path that everyone says, go get a job, go get have a retirement fund. And here I am with 2 young kids or, during those years on my own trying to, work and bring money in directly, our living was directly related to whether I brought work in at any given day.
Wow.
So that's what I would wake up with in my brain. My monkey mind would do math. Because if I could calculate how many clients, what kind of job, if I had to do a workshop, how many would I get? And then I could pay this bill. And when I noticed that, then I could stop it. Like, oh, it calmed it down a little. It liked the math, but it was,
right.
it didn't really do anything. It didn't happen afterwards. It just maybe got me to sleep for the night.
But then, like, I do that too. I've done that. I still do that. I'm practicing more about how to be more multidimensional and letting my higher mind kind of rule. Because I think one of the things that was in the video was like the monkey mind is not good nor bad. It's just there.
Right.
Right. And that there is a role that the monkey mind plays. It's supposed to play, right? But it's not supposed to lead, right? It's not supposed to lead, us. Because it's like you're talking about with the math. Because for me, I would just start doing the math and then anxiety would come because the math isn't working out. Because of
which is all fake math to begin with.
Right. It's not this tangible thing. It's like still out here. And I'm like, well, it's not real and da 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 da. But in actuality, and we'll talk more about this, but in actuality, that vision, that thing is real. It's just, it hasn't manifested. We haven't brought it into and done steps to bring it into our physical space, which is another show that we'll do. Anyway, listen, we're going to I love this beginning. I love how we're starting this off. Listen, everybody, we're going to take a quick break. We got more on the monkey mind coming up. I know this is probably for some of you, this is a brand new concept, but that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that we're bringing you new stuff so that you can have a different way of thinking about things. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more Soulivity today in a couple of minutes.
6 years ago when I started Soulivity, my vision was to support everyone in improving their life through the discovery of their passion and purpose so they could become the best version of themselves, to battle fear and ignorance and create a better world today. Get inspired to live your passion and purpose. Visit Soulivity.com now.
Do you see me kneeling on this dual roller called Parasetter? It's actually comfortable because of this channel and the softness of the special foam. It feels like my kneecaps are being massaged. When I lie down, my spine is housed in this channel, while the convex rollers massage my muscles. They let go and lengthen. There's a traction effect from my head on the headrest and my mid-back from the rib wrap, which hugs me. When I start the breathing sequence, I feel calm because my cortisol levels are dropping. Lower cortisol means bye-bye constant hunger. Parasetter is 40 inches long and much more comfortable than old-style rollers, but it weighs only 10 ounces. Parasetter, just like Pilates was, is no longer an insider secret. Do yourself a favor. Reset your parasympathetic nervous system. Defeat stress. Lying, sitting, kneeling, or standing. This unique patented roller helps everyone.
Hey, we're back with more of Soulivity today. We are talking about how to tame the monkey mind with our very special, you know, ladies and experts and joy keepers, Sheila Applegate and Halina Goldstein. We kind of talked about, the monkey mind in terms of the definition here, but let's move into, why does the monkey mind behave the way that it does? Right? I mean, I think we're born with it, but Halina, do you have an answer? Like,
Well, it's as I see it, and it's not something we're born with. That's not my experience, and the reason I'm saying it is because I've done some meditations and had some memories of my first months on Earth. There wasn't any monkey mind. There was like a
Right.
spacious, loving, joyful state, and it was pretty constant. So my
Interesting.
experience is that when, as most people start discovering life on Earth and all the challenges we meet, and we at the same time start learning how to use the mind, we learn it from our parents and later teachers, and we learn it by listening and hearing. And what we hear are all these explanations or judgments or any other way in which the mind is being used and the logical thinking is being used in our culture. And we learn that, and then we internalize it. And I think how we do it is a little bit different from person to person, depending on how they grow up. But that's what we do. We learn that we have this tool, the mind, the brain, the thinking, and because we learned it in a way that doesn't really serve us, it becomes a challenge. It becomes this monkey that overrides our state of natural wisdom.
Wow, thank you for that. Because I'm thinking, remember the old biblical term begat, right? This begat this person, begat this person. It's like the first person who was using the monkey mind begats it to the next generation, then just passes it down and passes it down and passes it down, and that we believe we don't have a choice, or that it's just innately there, but in reality, it's a learned behavior. So I like that. Thank you. That actually helps me a little bit, in terms of me, because that's truth, right, Sheila? I mean, that when we come into how we're born as even as a child, as a young baby, our experience of the world is just awe and wonder, right? We're just, wow, this is really cool. What's that over there? What's this? And, how does that person like speak? What is those, touching the lips and all that kind of stuff? We're not concerned about the stuff that the monkey mind does. We're not even there. Um, so that's really cool. It's a beautiful way to remind ourselves of what the truth is around it.
Yeah, it got me thinking, Halina, that because I do think of the monkey mind as our primitive instinct to survive, right? And so I started thinking, and I thought, well, when we come in as a baby, that instinct is still there as far as we need food, we need sleep, right? And we cry. And then in many of the situations, the baby is responded to very quickly in those early years, right? You cry and then the mother feeds you or the parent feeds you. And then those are your only needs. If you're cold, then hopefully they figure it out and put a blanket on you. So I feel like it's a simplistic like survival. And then
Right.
then we learn, oh, these needs aren't getting met, or maybe they won't, or there's inconsistency around us, or now there's things that aren't directly related to my survival, but somehow my well-being. And then they get added into the picture. And we start to our monkey mind starts to learn ways to try to make the world around us okay and make sense, and do the right thing to make the smoothest possible life. I think that might be how it develops. And I hadn't thought it through until you just said that, Halina. So it's really interesting.
What are you
But
thinking
once we
about that?
get to that
Yeah.
point, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking about. I know that I've seen parents do this where, and I think I'm guilty of it too, to a certain degree, where a child that's crying because they're cold or because they're hungry or whatever need they have, I've seen parents go, "That's not okay," right? It's not okay for you to cry, and that um, you just got, and so what does a baby do with that?
Right.
All they
Right.
know is that they have a need and it is not being met. They don't know how to speak, they don't know how to articulate. And so the only way that they know what to do is have an emotional response, right? To have this emotional response. And here's a parent saying that's not okay. Maybe that's where that monkey mind starts to kind of get in there and starts to develop around
Yeah,
needs, wants, and desires. What do you
I
think? What do you
think
guys think?
I think when the suppression of emotions and just the comfort of feeling those emotions kicks the mind in, because it's got to try to think its way out of what is actually an emotional experience.
Right,
What do you think,
right.
Kalina?
Yeah, what do you think,
Well,
Halina?
I do think that like very generally speaking, as we have to do here,
Right,
the
right.
monkey mind is often a response to fear, and so
Mm,
we often speak about our like primary reaction to fear is fight and flight. That's exactly what happens in the monkey mind. We either
Right.
try to find the situation mentally, so imagine scenarios or imagine conversations that go against what we experience as a problem, or we try to escape into a different scenario, or imagining a future, or imagining a past. So we move
Mhm.
those instincts, as you said, Sheila, into our developing capacity for thinking, and we start to write stories in a way in our mind,
Mhm.
and then it becomes a habit, stronger and stronger, I think, and it becomes a way of being, and it becomes the monkey mind,
mm,
I
mm,
think.
mm.
That's what my
You
monkey
know,
says right now.
um, I like that though. I like this. I like, that we're kind of putting some pieces together, maybe based upon our
Mm,
own kind of experiences to a certain
yeah.
degree.
Mhm.
Um, because I think that um, maybe because I can think of as a child when you're just saying in the best possible way that you can that I have this need, right?
Mhm.
A want or desire, and I'm trying to put that out there with the people who are my caretakers, who I'm bonded with, right? I'm bonded with these people now, and they're telling me the way that I'm trying to do that is not okay, and that they're angry with me, right?
Mm,
And that there's being negative with me because of that. I can only imagine that that becomes some type of fear within a baby, like,
Mhm.
okay, do I do this? Do I not do this? And then maybe that builds into a hurt, right? I'm just trying to get fed. I'm just trying to get held. I'm just trying to say that I don't like this action in the moment, right? Like, I don't like water in my head, or I don't like this stuff. And that the reaction to that is something negative, right?
Mhm.
Instead
mm,
of maybe something more loving or nurturing or being more compassionate, because, you know, babies do need to take showers and baths and stuff like that. And so, you know, how can we make that more enjoyable for them? And so I can only think that might have some connections there. So I like
Mm-hmm.
that. I like that we're using our own building blocks and putting this stuff together. Why don't we go ahead and get into this next piece around this, which is, how do we want our mind to be? What would be the state of bliss for us if we could have it in terms of how we relate to our minds? And Sheila, I'm going to go to you a little bit on this, because you brought up earlier ego, you know, earth guide only. Some people say, like Wayne Dyer will say, you know, Halina, you brought up like fight or flight, because I think ego is connected to fight or flight. If we can't see it, you know, five senses, if it's not in the five senses, we're going to be afraid of it, right? Because it doesn't exist. What's that relationship supposed to be like for us? And Sheila, I'll go to you first, and then I'll go to Halina.
So for me, this brings me to when I was in college and I wanted to I wanted to meditate, you know, and I couldn't do it. In all the ways that I was being shown to just silence my mind, the more I tried to silence my mind, the more I heard every sound, and I just got more and more tense. And then I discovered the guided meditation. And for me, because I do have an active imagination and also a brain that loves to work, bringing my brain along in the meditation by giving it something to do. So for me, that's the clearest turning point of, oh, okay, now this part of my brain is instructed to come along with me and discover all of these different energies. So that's why in my teachings too, the guided meditation is so essential, because through that I've learned to reach all these different levels of my frequency, and then when they're all in alignment, I call it being in the vortex, and I just can sense and see that. So for me, that's how I trained my mind to get on board. And then the later thing we talked about the finances and the money, that was kind of one of the last to go. And to be honest, I'm still waiting to see if it'll show up again, because, like sometimes you think it's gone and then it comes back. But joy is the one like that finalize that monkey part of my monkey mind, because I trained myself to focus on joy, to do, instead of thinking, to do things that I like. And then the evidence came in. The more I put my attention on joy and being in that state, doing whatever I wanted to do, the more the money started flowing, the clients came naturally. And so those are the shifts that I've made that have been most helpful.
I love that. I love that. Halina, what about you? Was that your kind of experience of kind of like, moving into what is this more of a symbiotic kind of relationship with your mind, with you taking the lead and saying, hey, you have a role, but this is, you don't have to lead. This is where you're going to be, right here, right? Was that your experience as well?
Well, to some degree, but what comes to mind right now is that I do believe that, and at this point in my life, the habit is still very strong. It's just there's a chatter, and even when I think there isn't, if I spend like 3, 4, 5 days in pure meditation, I notice,
Right.
oh, it's there. It's just not very loud. So there's a chatter, and the it's not a problem, because it's like if you look through a window and someone has drawn something on the glass, you can either focus on the drawing, or you can kind of look through it and see the beautiful landscape outside. So this is what I see as very real potential, is to not focus on the thinking, but just know, oh, it's like a sound in the environment. Right. It's there. and it's okay. And on a deeper level, the more I can, as you said, take leadership. So allow the true inner leader to be there. Then the connection is being re-established between the mind and the soul and the wholeness. And then the mind works in a different way. And then the mind knows, oh, it doesn't have to figure anything out because it knows. I don't have to figure answers out because I know. So there's like a whole range of experiences that it's possible. But I think it's so important also what this beautiful monk said is that it's not our enemy. It's not about creating a fight with the habit or the monkey. And just very shortly, in some Asian cultures, a monkey is actually a sacred animal. So
Yes, it
perhaps
is.
the monkey, right? So perhaps the monkey mind could get back to its more sacred state if we give it the leadership and the space it needs.
You know what I was thinking,
Yeah.
with both of you, I was thinking of this thought of non-resistance, right? Of surrender, right? And that the learned behavior is we have to be in control to make sure that we are safe. Right? And bottom line, we have to be in control to ensure that we're going to be safe. May it be in our finances, may it be in our relationships, may it be in our jobs, whatever it is, and nothing's going to hurt us, that we can be in this place and that kind of thing. But the way through is to just walk through it and to let it be okay. Let it be okay that that there's a part of ourselves that kind of wants to be in control, that's always going to be talking, that's always going to be, saying stuff. Because in truth, it's all love, right? I mean, we're trying to love ourselves and keep ourselves safe. And so in our meditations, right, Sheila, where we're in our meditations and that kind of thing, I know this is true for me, where like you, I had to just let it be okay if my mind's talking, right? Because sometimes it's stuff that maybe I need to hear, right? Like, oh, I've been thinking about this and this has been on my mind, so maybe I need to send some loving and healing energy toward that part of my life. Right. I mean, we're going to get to how to use joy in this process. But as we're coming up on break, I was thinking that Reverend Sylvia Sumner had this great sermon this past Sunday, and one of the pieces was to whatever you're going through, that you're not supposed to kind of resist it, that you're supposed to find that there's always good in every experience. And that in this case, in your monkey mind, you find the good and then you praise it. I'm using that. I've been using that every day since then. And so we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back and then we're going to talk with Halina and Sheila about using joy, this praise, and bringing this into the experience of our monkey minds so that we can have even more peace and prosperity and whatever we want to have. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Assume control over your weight and broader health with the 80 Bites program by Physical Mind Institute.
For 50 years, we've been told, load up your plate with veggies. Load them up. Because all this spinach, look at it, all the spinach is only 100 calories. But avoid fat, because a tiny sliver of butter is also 100 calories. So spinach is good, butter is bad, right? But not today. Now we're told, put butter on everything, even in your coffee. Why? Because fat doesn't spike insulin as carbs do. And stretching the stomach with all those veggies unbalances our digestive hormones. So eat healthy today means fat, fasting, stomach control. Right here's the stomach. Forget calories. Hormones rule, and 80 bites is the solution.
Are you ready to take that first step towards true, unwavering inner happiness? Are you like thousands of people who have everything they need, not want, but need, and still can't seem to find happiness and fulfillment in their lives? If so, the Steps to Happiness show is for you. On my show, you will learn about the principles and practices that lead to true inner happiness. Because guess what? It isn't found in our external environment, but within ourselves instead. Together with my guests, we will explore the latest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being practices. And together, we'll advise you on the actionable steps you can take towards a happier, more fulfilled, authentic life. So I invite you to join me each week on Soulivity TV on the Steps to Happiness show with me, Teresa Greco.
Hey, we're back here with more of Soulivity today. We are talking today about how we can use joy to calm our monkey mind. And, next on is actually how do we do that? And so, Halina, I'm going to go to you because you're our joy expert, right? You're a sister joy. I'm going to start calling you Sister Joy.
Well, we are a brotherhood and sisterhood of joy here. Yeah, but you know what? So I could say something very general about which is true, that the joy connects us with ourselves and with our soul and with our wisdom. So the more we connect with joy, the more peaceful we become. But there's something very specific that I've started playing with my mind. So it's a game for the monkey and the joy. And the way it works is that when you discover, because again, there's this challenge, the chatter is going on, but at some point we notice. And in that moment, if you can remember, oh, I'm thinking, in that moment, try to let go of the thinking and then go to joy. In that way, every time you discover I'm thinking, use it as an anchor for calling in joy. So what happens is that even if the thinking in itself can be depleting and difficult and noise, now it becomes a reminder of going back to joy. And then it works the other way, that every time we go back to joy, we become calmer. There's less thinking. And then the thinking comes back, and then the game begins again. But my experience, this is deepening, and it creates a more spacious experience of your mind. And it's just lovely, like, oh, back to joy. Oh, back to joy. So this is the banana I give my monkey.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking, so let me give you a scenario. So let's say I'm we're talking and have, about whatever, and my monkey mind is going. I was thinking that maybe what I could do is, if I notice that I'm thinking, imagine me playing, having my child is playing and having joy kind of like occupy that space. Is that like one example that I could use? Or literally go out and play, or go into nature, take a walk, do something? What do you think? Was that how we do it? Like specifically, like
that's a lovely way to do it. For me, it's more
yes.
connecting with the energy of joy, because I do this practice already. So it's like directly, open to joy, and then joy comes in. And yes, playfulness, or it could be creativity, it could be breathing, it could be opening your heart, it could be all kinds of things. But use that I love this idea that you can actually, find out what's your way of bringing something joyful. But the important part is let the thinking, let the monkey become the trigger for joy and playfulness. So explore.
Wow.
I love this.
I like that. I like that. So we're kind of like, Sheila, we're kind of retraining ourselves. So instead of our first reaction to life being to think, right? Oh, I got to think, or that we're thinking already, and then we're piling on some more stuff. That when we become aware of that, we're training ourselves to feel the energy of joy in our own way. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm loving this too. It's what I've been doing too, even more directly since connecting with Halina and being part of the Joy Keepers. But so just energetically making that shift, but also everything you said about Brian, about, just if you need to take that step to do something creative, go outside. You guys know, for me, going outside, talking to the trees and the birds, like that just will get me there instantly if I'm, obsessing or my monkey mind is going. And then I do something else that I don't even know if I'm going to explain this, but I love to explore my brain. So when you were talking about that with you, Halina, so I learned during COVID, actually, I've always loved word searches because I was just really good at it. I could find the words so quickly. And so I started doing word searches to get off of the computer, so it's not on my phone. I bought paper ones and did them. And I started to be able to see my brain working together, and it becomes like this team meeting, because as soon as I start letting the monkey mind go or trying really hard to find a word, I can't find anything. And then I remember to let it go. And it's so shocking to me every time. Like, I will look down on the page, and as soon as I let it go, the word has popped out, or I'll be kind of just glancing, and then I'll go to the list and it'll show me pick this word, and I pick that word and I go right to it on the other one. And it is so direct on whether my mind is in harmony or if it's going off and trying too hard. So it's a really minute way of micro understanding and getting together. So I sometimes sit there and think, like, who is all this talking in my head? Which part of me is talking to which part, because then I'm analyzing it at the same time, and we're having this little party, and I look like I'm just looking at a word search.
I love that. This is so cool. I was trying to think about what activity moves me into joy, like, immediately. And for me, it's always been music and dance. And so I'm thinking that one of the things that I'm going to do as a practice, like I'm going to challenge myself for the next 30 days, is that whenever I find myself thinking about stuff, that I'll move into either seeing myself with music, dancing and enjoying that thing, or actually do it, right? Because I just love it. So wow, this has been fantastic. I really, this is good. See, we're all smiling and laughing and that kind of thing. So we gave our monkeys bananas, and they're all monkeys, calm. They're all sitting around eating their banana and just chilling out. Like, good, you finally got it. You guys finally got it. Yeah. Listen, we're gonna take another quick break. We've got more of Soulivity today coming up. We've got our shameless plugs coming up in just a second. So stick to. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Soulivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So tune in every Wednesday right here on Soulivity TV. to join the fun. And remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Hey, we're back with more of Soulivity today, laughing and laughing and enjoying calmness with our monkey minds. I love it. I love it. Well, we do some shameless plugs. Most importantly, coming up in I think next week is our next Joy Keepers. Woohoo! Who wants to go? Sheila, you want to talk about what's happening on the 25th?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
So on the 25th at 11 a.m. New York time, we get together for the Joy Meditation Cafe, and we come together with people from all over the world, and we chat for a little bit, get to know each other, and then go through a joy meditation. And then we share with each other after that. So it's really a beautiful, joyful moment. And it's so fun to connect with people from around the world. So it's free. You just have to go to thejoykeeper.org and you'll see the invite and just sign up. If you haven't, once you sign up, you get on the mailing list. So you'll be reminded every month.
Yay.
So come join us.
You know, Halina, these are so much fun. I was kicking myself because I missed the last one, but I went back and watched the video, and I was like, I stopped kicking myself and started dancing. So, so it was all good in the end. Speaking of having a lot of fun, Sheila, you do some amazing soul connection sessions. Can you talk a little bit about those and how people can sign up?
Yeah. So soul connection sessions are designed uniquely for you. We draw from my experience as a therapist, a seer, spiritual reader, teacher, meditation, and healer, and we integrate that. So it can be like getting a spiritual reading or a guided meditation personalized to you to help you connect with your soul. So whatever it is you need, that's what we do during that time. And you can sign up for that at SheilaApplegate.com. Use the code SOUL23 to get a $44 off discount because you're here at Soulivity.
Woo-hoo. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we want to let you know too, listen, we've got some great partners. One of which is Old Vine Wine Tours, where you can discover California culture in the beautiful wine country of Sonoma. It is absolutely spectacular. They do some great tours there. If you use the promo code Soulivity, you'll get 10% off of any tour that you select. And so you want to go to oldvinewinetours.com/wine in the weeds, because I love that. I love that URL. But go there and you'll find out more information about these amazing tours. And don't forget the promo code Soulivity. Also, we've got a fantastic partner in 80 Bites, as I'm reloading the site here so you guys everybody can see, which is absolutely free. It's a weight loss and appetite control mobile application that was developed by Physical Mind Institute, which is known for all things in health and wellness, specifically in Pilates. It is absolutely free. So you want to go to soulivity.com/80 bites for more information. Guys, man, it's always like so bad because, we never have enough time to do a whole bunch of stuff, but maybe in the future we'll do it. Thanks to both of you for being here.
Thank you.
This has been great. I mean, I think a lot of times when we're thinking about like concepts like our monkey mind and bringing joy into it, for me, I think of it as when we're going through here, like here at Soulivity, we're talking about people manifesting their best life today, right? And a lot of times they go through the process of visioning that out. Maybe they're doing it on a treasure map or vision board or whatever, and they're writing this thing out, or they're in their journal and that kind of thing. And our minds start going, right? Maybe it's in a positive way. Maybe we're thinking about all those things that we want to manifest, which is good. But there's also this part of surrender that's there. And that surrendering and bringing joy in and giving that monkey mind that's kind of like chattering about what about. It's like here. Yeah, here's some joy, do the word search, or or just bring the feeling in, or go dance, right? And surrender. And my guess is that supercharges the whole process, right? Because we're now into surrendering in terms of our highest and best good, and that manifestation comes into our lives. So use this process, everybody. Use this process. I mean, Halina, I look to you as my sensei around this, like, because I think you've been doing this practice for a long time, and now for you, you've gotten to a place at which I won't say it's instantaneous, but that you're able to really go to that joy and know what that feels like and anchor that. And so everybody, this is important. This is really, really important for us to create our best lives, to really embody joy and use that as this healing balm when we're going through different things, or when we're chattering and that kind of thing, that it's really, really solid spiritual medicine for whatever we're going through. And it's not designed to fix. It's actually part of us. It's innate in us. It's where we're supposed to be. So thank you to both of you for being here. We're gonna be talking more with you guys about this, as I said before, because that's where we're supposed to be. So thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Halina.
Thank you.
And thank you to all of you for being here. This is how we do it every day here on Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern for Soulivity Today on all our social platforms, or you can listen to us at 8 a.m. Pacific time on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. Until next time, keep having conversations that empower you with passion, purpose, and create that high quality living today. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted